Greetings, what's going on? It's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com. Happy, I think it's Friday. And not that it really matters. I've noticed that when I'm sort of on vacation over here, the day of the week is not really relevant. Although I will tell you, and I'll put a link to that one, my Wednesday video. Wednesday is now my favorite day of the week over here in Cha'am, because the entire beach looks like this all the way down. It has no people, it has no vendors, and it's got no chairs. Now, to be fair, we were all excited. Oh my God, that's so cool. There's no people, there's nothing on the beach. Let's go grab a chair and sit there by ourselves. And of course, there were none of these. So that's the downside to there being no chairs, is there's, well, no chairs. So welcome to the pluses and minuses of life, right? So anyway, so how about part 4 of why Thailand? Why I chose Thailand. So I'm back from Thailand, and when I say back from Thailand, I mean that I have landed in Maui from my return flight, and I am back in the US. Now, to be fair, you know, Maui's no dump, right? So I'm definitely still on vacation, and I'm in Maui, and I'm still going to be there for one more week. But, you know, I still have this memory of all of the wonderful new and awesome experiences I had when I was in Thailand, my first trip to Thailand. So I'm still sort of savoring that, but I'm still in Maui, right? So anyway, so I get back to the office, and now while I was in Thailand, I heard of, you know, things that occurred here, right? So I heard about, or I experienced New Year's Eve, which was just crazy awesome. And then I heard about this thing called Songkran, which, if you don't know, it is the Thai New Year. It's referred to as the Thai New Year. It happens in April, and the ceremony that occurs for it is basically what's also referred to as the Water Festival. And the ceremony is originally, at least from what I know, is that a little bit of water is poured on your friends in the sort of idea behind it being to cleanse them, or yourself, and provide you with a cleansing new year, wishing you we're going to have a good new year sort of thing. So anyway, well, if you don't know, then just Google Songkran and or YouTube Songkran, and you will find a plethora of videos where many tourists have taken that fairly pleasant, I guess, at one time, Thai pastime, and turned it into a very energetic experience, let's just say that, especially in Pattaya, where they will have giant water cannons, you know, and even, you know, the second year, I think, when I was there, the fire department came out, you know, with one of those trucks with those giant nozzles on the top of it, and they were just spraying down everyone on Beach Road. And then it turned into guys that would take these massive chunks of ice and put it in, you know, those ice chests that you see on the side of the road or at the bars or whatever that all of the places sort of have. Big, huge, you know, chunks of ice in there. And then they would squirt, you know, ice water at people so it would make them feel miserable. And so anyway, I had heard of this. So I'm back in the United States. It's towards the end of January. And I thought, you know what? I still have like 2 weeks vacation. I'm going to go back to Thailand in April, and I'm going to go to this Songkran thing. Now, I don't know about you, but when I would go on vacation in the past, I would be like, okay, I've got, you know, the 2 weeks, or I've got 3 weeks, or whatever. So I'm going to go to Destination X, you know, and it's going to be awesome. You know, like I'm going to go to the Caribbean, or I'm going to go to the Florida Keys, or I'm going to go to Maine, or I'm going to go skiing in Vail for like a whole week. It's going to be awesome. Or I'm going to go to Barcelona, and, you know, I'm going to check that out in the fall. It's going to be, or whatever. And I would do that. And that would be it. And I would have a great memory and a ton of pictures, and I would share it with my buddies, and I'd be like, oh my God, dude, you got to do this. And if it was truly awesome, then there's a pretty good chance I would maybe do it again the following year, okay? But what I did is I went on vacation. I went on this amazing vacation, first time ever to Thailand, and for 3 weeks, and I go back to this place. I didn't last 90 days back in the US. I was back in Thailand in less than 3 months. And I had never done that. And I had heard about people doing that. I had heard about people, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Thailand, you know, for 2 to 3 weeks. And at that point okay, so that's another thing too. At that point in my life, I had never gone on vacation somewhere for 3 weeks. I had gone for like 2 weeks. But I had never taken a full on, in fact, I was taking a full 4 weeks off of work. And one of the weeks was in Maui, but the 3 weeks I was taking in Thailand. And that just seemed like an enormous amount of time. And that was in 2013. So as my life went on, I discovered that 4, 5, 6 weeks off work was not a lot. So I can understand why the Europeans do that and why us folks in the United States are like, God, that seems so weird. Because it is, it's odd, it's different. It's not what we normally do. Nonetheless, so 90 days later, less than 90 days later, I'm back in Thailand and I land in Bangkok and I'm excited, right? But there's this little piece of me that's like, I'm back home. Now I didn't really sort of acknowledge it, but I was just like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm back somewhere that's familiar. Like I've been to this airport before and now I'm back to this airport. And I like this airport. It's an amazing airport. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm back here. I know how to do this thing. I know how to because the first time, of course, I get to the airport and, you know, I go to like that, you know, there's like a kiosk, right? And again, like I mentioned before, my first scenario was like, oh my God, I've never been to this crazy place called Bangkok. Better get a room at a JW Marriott. So, you know, because I didn't know what to expect. I had to get a known quantity, right? So I get the JW gig. And, you know, I go to this kiosk where it says taxi, you know, and basically it should have said overpay to get somewhere. It really didn't matter what it was. But I did, and it was like, honest to God, I think it was like 1,000 baht for me to get from Suvarnabhumi to JW. And if you know anything about Bangkok or you know how to get from point A to point B, at the end of the day, you can get from Suvarnabhumi Airport to the JW using the airport rail link, and I'll put a link to that video that I've done before, from using the airport rail link to the BTS, and then BTS that will literally drop you off within about half a block of the JW near Nana. It'd literally be 100 baht, because it would be 45 baht maximum ARL, and then it would be 55 baht maximum BTS. With taking, you know, public transportation. Now, to be fair, you know, you could also take you take a Grab, and that would be about between 400 to 500 baht. You take a taxi, about 500 baht. No way it's going to cost you 1,000 baht unless you take like, you know, a Mercedes Grab or something like this. Anyway, so I land in Bangkok the second time, and I'm like, haha, I know what not to do. And in fact, I even was staying around the corner from JW, and I was landing, I believe, it wasn't like the first day, but it was like the day before the first day of Songkran in Bangkok. So people were like kind of getting ready, and I had this really massive backpack with me, and it's one of the ones that, like, you know, you get, and it also has like the cover in case it rains. So I thought, you know what, I should just put this cover on there. So I put the cover on there, and luckily I did. And I also was completely aware of the weather, and I also knew that not only was I aware of the weather, I knew it was going to be hotter in April than it was in January, and there was going to be a little bit more rain in April. You think? So anyway, so I brought less clothes that were bulky, and I also realized that from my experience last time that I'm going to probably wear shorts every single day of my life, and I'm only going to need like 2 or 3 pair. So I should probably be pretty good with this whole big 60-liter backpack full of clothes. I'll be good, right? So anyway, so I bring this thing, and I get, you know, a little bit wet getting to the hotel. But the point is, like, for 100 baht, because I took airport rail link to BTS, got off at Nana, and then walked down and then I was staying just right down the street from the JW at one of those like boutique hotels, and it was like probably less than 1,000 baht a night, and it was awesome because it was like maybe 1 or 2 years old, and I think it was like one of those deals where it was like a 7-story place. It was like a studio. It was great, and so I'm home, right? I'm like home, and I'm like, I know this Bangkok place. I know where this JW is. I know how to take BTS. I know how to get down to Siloam. I know how to get over to Lumpini Park. And it's like part of my home. And so to the whole like why Thailand thing is because I don't know what it was, but there was something about it that was like, it became a home really quickly. And, you know, I've been on vacation. I'll give you a great example. So I've been to Barcelona 3 times. I may have been 4, but I don't remember. But I know I've been there at least 3 times. And yeah, at the end of the day, it was for work. But I can tell you, the majority of the time I was there was not working. Meaning that if I had a 3 or 4 hour meeting in the evening, the majority of that day I wasn't obsessing about that 3 or 4 hours. I was like down at the beach. I was like, you know, maybe talking with people on the phone, doing some emails. But the time delta between Barcelona and California was so significant that it wasn't like I could really like communicate in real time. So I was basically, you know, it was at least 51% vacation, and you know, and it was enjoyable work too. It was great enjoyable work. I was leading this user group. I was on the board. I was one of the founders. I was the president of the BCE user group, which at the time was wildly successful, and I had a lot of passion behind it. It was great. But that was not my home, is the point to that little sort of scenario. Whereas Bangkok, this like Thailand place, this Bangkok place, it was my home. It felt like my home. And I am not a city guy. I can't imagine living in Boston. I love Boston. It's a great city to go to as long as I can leave. I am not a New York City guy. I had the opportunity to get a great job in New York City years ago, and I would have made a ton of cash working at the #1 radio station in the #1 market in the country, PLJ at the time. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't live in New York City. It's not my cuppa. And I'm not a city guy. I love Bangkok. And in fact, in about 2 weeks, we are going to be living in Bangkok for a whole month, and I cannot wait, because it's going to be about the 10th time that we're going to be in Bangkok. I'm going to be in Bangkok. For me and Gracie, it's about the 4th or 5th. So, I mean, it's true. It's going to be the 3rd time just this trip that I'm going to be back in Bangkok. I can't wait. I got buddies that work there. I got buddies that live there, and it's a great place to meet people. I love it. And so this was like my home. It felt like my second home next to San Diego. And I was like, so this place is sticking. This Thailand place is sticking. So that's why I came back. And that's a little bit a part of it. It just felt right, you know? And if it hadn't, then it would have just been like any other city that was enjoyable, that was fine. Because I'd been to Miami, and that was okay. It's got pretty awesome beaches. I liked the Florida Keys a lot. In fact, I really love the Florida Keys, but it wasn't like, yeah, this is home. It wasn't like I felt home there, you know? But I felt home in Thailand. Fast forward 6 years, this is home now, you know? And so that's another reason why this is my Thailand. And as I said before, I really hope that you find your Thailand. I'd love to hear in the comments. A lot of people have sent me direct messages and private messages, and I really appreciate that. It's great getting to know you. I'm stoked that I don't have, like, you know, thousands of subscribers, because I feel like I know each and every one of you. Every time I see a comment from someone who I've seen a comment before, like Traveler, for example, you know, I see a comment from him, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that person. That comment is cool. He gave me some tips on what other expats are doing, you know, around here, so thanks a lot. It's really cool. And anyway, so it's Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com saying, I hope you're living the dream. So if you're not living the dream, then you probably haven't gone to a place and been like, this is home. But I hope you have. And I hope you found your time.